And the key to keeping those numbers down and preventing a second wave is contact tracing.
Critics are bringing up potential privacy issues with many of these apps used to keep track of this. Plus the question, will it really work?
Hey guys, Pedro V here. So new video. Before I start it, I want to touch on this subject real quick. Now, earlier this week, there has been a phone service outages. Speculation shows it has something to do with the COVID-19 tracker they're putting into everyone's phones. Even Google was quick to shut down this theory. Now, if you don't know what I mean, if you have an Android phone, and if you go under your settings and then Google settings, it should be there. If you have an iPhone, go to settings, private settings, and in health, and it should be there. Some people have said this has been on their phone for a few weeks now, especially when the iOS update came out. Even Google mentioned this, so that may be true, but they're operating this on a national and international level, which could be the reason for the outages. Everyone will eventually be involved, whether they like it or not, because this is an invasion of privacy. Even if it says Bluetooth settings are off, they can always have a trick or two up their sleeves, and this spying and invasion of privacy has been happening for a while, even exposed by Edward Snowden and others, but this is coming out publicly, and this is making it the new normal, which it really should not be. So I just wanted to touch on this real quick because it all ties in with the rest of the video. So with that being said, remain vigilant, have faith, and God bless you all.
On that Christmas gift threat by North Korea.
Now, Kim Jong-un had promised to deliver what the regime called a Christmas gift.
Did North Korea back down from its threat, and what was the purpose of this whole Christmas gift?
A gift from China, not good. They should have stopped it. They should have stopped it at the source. But it's a gift from China, and a very bad gift, I will tell you that. And we saved millions of lives, and now we're opening, and we're opening with a bang. And we've been talking about the V. This is better than a V. This is a rocket ship. And it was in the process of changing very big. You know, again, China had a very bad year before the plague. And now I think hopefully they're going to have a great year. I want them to have a great year, but we're going to have better years than they ever had. We have a better system. Much better system.
A new warning tonight from technology leaders against what they are calling the invisible threat, cyber attacks. Since the pandemic hit over 2 months ago, a number of hacking attempts worldwide has skyrocketed, especially as more and more people work from home.
I want to assure the American people that we're doing everything we can each day to confront and ultimately defeat this horrible, invisible enemy. We're at war. In a true sense, we're at war.
It's a complete new reality that I don't believe anybody's seen prior to this.
Steve Inch, global security manager at HP, calls cyber attacks the invisible threat of COVID-19.
It's ballooning up.
Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, the number of cyber attacks and hacking attempts have gone way up.
It's about a 600% increase.
According to Inch, many areas hit hardest by the virus are the same areas with high numbers of cyber threats.
And so the cyber landscape is exploding in these areas where people are populated and more and more working from home.
The types of malware used by hackers are also becoming more sophisticated, even prompting convincing attacks on the World Health Organization and the CDC.
They are not stupid. They're using every tool they can get their hands on.
Whether it's for personal and financial gain or political reasons, there are no shortage of hackers right now. That's why Inch says it's important that businesses and individuals are aware and alert.
This reality is going to be with us for a while, so stay ever vigilant.
Tremendous progress is being made on vaccines. In fact, we have ready to go in terms of transportation and logistics. We have over 2 million ready to go if it checks out for safety.
We keep hearing progress reports on a coronavirus vaccine and that one could be ready this year. If you are among those Americans who choose to get one, as you may even see a big difference in the form of an RFID chip.
But just to step back a little and take a broader view initially, I've been thinking about how do we achieve the full American dream for all communities, African American communities, all communities.
The disappearance of what we used to call the American dream, where everybody sort of had an equal shot.
Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it.
That such vaccines may be available in millions of doses as soon as this fall.
The Department of Defense says once the vaccines are made, they'll be delivered to healthcare providers nationwide with the speed and efficiency of the U.S. military.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. Nobody's seen anything like we're doing now within our country since the Second World War.
The trends that we were seeing speed up, so we don't come out of the coronavirus into a new world order.
The pandemic has shown once again the vital importance of economic independence and bringing supply chains back from China and other countries. I probably got elected. One of the primary reasons was that. Make America great again, America first, call it whatever you want.
In my conversations with world leaders over the past many months, before the coronavirus even became an issue, I was saying that 2020 would be facing the worst humanitarian crisis since World War II for a variety of reasons.
You guys know what this represents? It's really been an incredible thing what's happened. It's the biggest mobilization since World War II.
And I am not immune about the role of the military in civil society. I should not have been there. My presence in that moment and in that environment created a perception of the military involved in domestic politics. As a commissioned, uniformed officer, it was a mistake that I have learned from, and I sincerely hope we all can learn from it.
Anything goes for Trump. And think about this, the minute he leaves office, his life, for all practical purposes, from his perspective, is over. Because at a minimum, he loses the vast percentage of his power and his ability to dominate. And believe me, he's gotten used to that, and giving it up is unthinkable.
Most importantly, I brought my Bible. Okay? And, you know, it's First Presbyterian Church, Jamaica, and this was written by my mother.
Well, as more places reopen, people are leaving their homes with and without masks. And a new study suggests if everyone wore masks, it could stop a second wave.
But one Placer County supervisor is challenging health experts and says it won't stop the spread of the virus.
Let's not be afraid to live. Let's not be afraid to live. Be afraid to live.
Walmart is testing out a store which only does self-checkout. The retail giant is removing cashiers and standard conveyor belt lines at one of its popular superstores in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Walmart wants to see if overall checkout times are faster while limiting human interaction during the outbreak. During the outbreak. Depending on the success of the test run, Walmart could expand the program.
A company in China has developed artificial intelligence-powered diagnostic tools that can spot if someone is carrying coronavirus symptoms in a matter of seconds. It can take hours to process CT scan results, but with this technology, doctors can save vital time.
so that they can identify them quickly, prevent them from mingling with their family members, other patients, as well as healthcare workers in the hospitals. So that we can single them out, start the medical observation, start the testing, start the quarantine if necessary.
Well, if you plan on traveling, United Airlines says it'll start blacklisting passengers who don't wear face masks. The airline plans to roll out this new policy on Thursday. Passengers will be offered a mask if they don't have one of their own, but if they still say no, their names could be put on an internal restriction list when they reach their destination. American Airlines just announced a similar policy for that as well.
See facial recognition technology, and some imagine the government tracing and tracking people, their photo linked to outside agencies, their information being shared. While it can be used in that way, Department of Transportation spokesperson Tim Sakahara says they will only use it to identify someone with a temperature over 100.4.
So if anybody has a fever, that is when the facial recognition technology will just take a picture to be able to see that person. And as they walk through the area, then they'll be, the employee will be able to identify them, pull them aside, and then start that medical assessment.
A company in Germany now introducing a gadget that's going to help enforce social distancing. Take a look at this. It's called a distancer. Actually beeps when somebody gets too close. The makers of the product say they hope it's going to help remind people to give a little space.
A local artificial intelligence company in Toronto has created new technology to help businesses like retailers during the pandemic. The company is called Predict Medics.
We are really a healthcare artificial intelligence entity.
The goal for this Toronto company is to create a safer environment for public spaces like hospitals, retail stores, and arenas. Before entering a facility, an individual would walk into a booth similar to the X-ray machine at the airport, and it would scan you for symptoms. At this time, the technology is still being improved because it can't distinguish between symptoms of COVID-19 and influenza.
But as there is more data being fed into the system, and again, leveraging our existing partnerships with hospitals, one of the things that we are doing is we are pushing in a lot of COVID-19 data into the algorithms.
Along with these machines, they have also created social compliance technology, which could determine if you're wearing a mask or social distancing.
One of the things that's important for them to do is to check people's temperatures and to check they're wearing masks. Here at the University of Antwerp Hospital, they're doing that through a robot. We were given a QR code on entry. You scan it into the robot, and it's telling me I need to put my mask on. As I do, it says that my temperature is 36.4. That's allowed. That's within the range. And then it should come up on the screen here to say that I'm green to go. I am. I'm okay to go.
Fired up. Please request all available scouts to be mobilized immediately.
Destination or task.
Helipad. Yep. Hey, 22. Just watch yourself this time, eh?
Affirmative.
Johannesburg, South Africa, became the focus of the world in 2016 with the deployment of the planet's first all-robotic police units. And Tetraval stock skyrocketed.
Certain parts are brought in from China, but all of the robots are assembled right here in South Africa.
The biggest fear the population expressed was vulnerability to hacking. Tetraval assures this is not something to worry about with their bulletproof guard key system which allows them and only them to update software on the robots.
The Paramount Network is now canceling Cops after 33 seasons.
President Trump leading the way on police reform while defending cops and promising to restore law and order. Trump signing an executive order after weeks of protests. It bans chokeholds unless an officer's life is in danger. It also calls for more police training and creates a database to track cops with complaints against them.
One thing we'll do is have a database, national database.
These standards will be as high and as strong as there is on Earth The vast majority of police officers are selfless and courageous public servants.
Fears that the president is going to try to steal this election and that it may come down to the military having to come in and remove the president from the White House. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a ridiculous proposition. This president's looking forward to November. This president's hard at work for the American people, and leave it to Democrats to go out there and grandstand and level these conspiracy theories.